This will be our top priority. Whenever an ambassador enters any country, what they do first is sort of indicative of what's most important. I remember when I was in Cambodia, the first thing I did was go visit the Genocide Museum, because that seemed like the most compelling, most important thing, even 20, 25 years after the genocide. Here in Slovenia, where so much of what we have going for us is good, the thing that we can focus on here is business and developing our economic relationship. This is sort of a long speech. I apologize for that. Please feel free to continue to eat and ignore what I'm saying if that makes it easier for you. So, as I've said before, the US is fortunate to have friends like Slovenia. Our shared values make us natural partners on many key issues. We already, as I just said, enjoy excellent bilateral relations in the political and military spheres that allow many benefits to us. This is essential, and I will work hard to maintain those strong ties. But weirdly enough, this will not be easy for me. I am not used to such good, healthy relationships. I mean, professionally. I am happy with my wife, and I think she's happy with me. We've been together 30 years, but in my 30 years as a professional diplomat, I have not dealt with a good bilateral relationship in the same way as I now have to deal with Slovenia. So we'll hope that works out. At least we have a shared challenge to bring our economic and commercial ties to that same strong level as our political bilateral ties. This goal for us is both a luxury and a hardship. And what do I mean by that? As I've mentioned, in countries where I've served in the past, contentious policy issues, human rights, for example, or democracy building or institution building, were often the focus of the relationship, leaving little room or time to focus on other spheres. In Slovenia, that clearly is not the case. While we may therefore have the luxury to focus on improving economic ties here in Slovenia, it is not always easy, precisely because it is not so do or die. The urgency is not always felt, and the moral imperative just doesn't resonate the same way. People who are not well off or have been laid off from jobs or who are suffering because of ill-advised economic policies just don't pull at our heartstrings in the same way as people who are wrongly imprisoned or otherwise mistreated actively by various regimes around the world. Neither of our nations has escaped the pain of the recent economic hard times. As we now look for ways to address the impact of these difficulties, we have a unique opportunity to focus on increasing bilateral trade and partnership, which will benefit both our countries, while bringing needed US investment, I hope, to Slovenia. And let me stress right now, because this has gotten me in trouble in too many countries, that I am not saying that America is blameless or omniscient when it comes to economic policy. Everyone in this room knows that. And I also realize that I am very new to Slovenia, and I don't have anywhere near all the answers. I have much to learn and even more to understand before I speak with any real certainty. But let me offer you some tentative, cautious observations today. And if you don't like them, blame my embassy staff more than me. First,
you do like them, they're always
as our friends here at the AmCham have often pointed out, any foreign investor looking at Slovenia today faces serious obstacles that need to be addressed before we'll see the level of foreign direct investment needed to help this economy grow. I'll talk more about this, but one immediate point is that we all need to work together on these difficult reforms, which in the end will improve the lives of both Slovenians and Americans, and frankly, the entire European Union. Now, Slovenia's track record is impressive, and I've mentioned this often in my testimony in America. Over the past 19 years, this country has smoothly transitioned into a modern democratic EU member state. Its economic and political achievements have forged a path for others in this region to emulate. In truth, as I mentioned at my swearing in, the changes and progress that Slovenia has made in 2 short decades is truly breathtaking. When you look at the rest of the world, it's incredible what Slovenia has accomplished. But the successful struggles of Slovenia, strengthening democratic institutions, establishing a strong market economy, resolving long-standing bilateral issues, have benefited the region and not just the country. As you have achieved one international milestone after another, Slovenia has used its experience and leadership to advance the political economic health of the entire Western Balkans, promoting security, stability, and facilitating its integration into European institutions. Slovenia now enjoys the highest per capita GDP in the region. I know you realize these things, but I have to say some nice things before I say anything critical. So we learn in diplomatic school. Relatively low corruption, strong protection of intellectual property, a competitive, diverse economy, an incredibly educated workforce, and sophisticated companies that know how to do business beyond their borders. With the access to the EU and the Western Balkans, Slovenia has a uniquely strong geostrategic position to build business linkages between both. Some of your business colleagues have wisely taken advantage of this, helping to build the profitable bridge between these markets. So by all accounts, Slovenia's future prospects look bright. So where do our bilateral commercial and business ties stand? Well, if we look at the numbers, we might be surprised. In 2009, US-Slovenian bilateral trade amounted to only 540 million euros, or only about 1.5% of Slovenia's total trade. And that is down from a high of 697 million euros in 2008. Statistics from the Bank of Slovenia put US investment here at only 69 million euros out of 11 billion euros total. To be fair, this doesn't include our large Goodyear investment, which though not officially counted as a third country subsidiary, we also consider an investment. But even including Goodyear, it's dismal how much investment we have here. Taking that and some other US investments into account, we can safely say that American FDI in Slovenia is slightly higher than the official number. I suspect that we can somehow do better, and we want to do better. Given the impressive advantages I've just outlined about all the good qualities about Slovenia, we see great potential for increasing our economic cooperation. Yet despite the positives, from the foreign investor's point of view, and when contrasted with comparable neighbors, Slovenia arguably does not appear that open for business. For example, while Slovenia ranked 45 overall out of 139 countries in the 2010 World Economic Forum Global Competitive Report, it was ranked 116 out of 139 when looking at foreign ownership and rules impacting FDI. For example, regarding foreign ownership, Slovenia is considerably behind such neighbors as Georgia, which is number 89, and Albania, 66, while regarding rules impeding investment in Slovenia, we have not kept up with Romania at 90 or Azerbaijan at 82. Investors need this country to roll out the welcome mat by making important reforms to the business environment and opening it up to foreign capital. Again, as this chamber has noted often, one likely reason why Slovenia is still feeling the pinch of the recent economic crisis is due to important economic reforms that have not yet been implemented. Now, we all know that reform is not easy. In fact, it is hard to make structural economic changes. Americans understand this because we are in the same situation back home. It has not been an easy 2 years for the economy in America, and time has shown that much of it has been the result of years of irresponsibility, both in our government and in our private sector. I always like to make the distinction when I give talks on the economy between political desire and political will. Both Slovenia and America have a strong political desire to fix their economies and make them stronger and more competitive. But desire is fundamentally different than will. I also have sincere desires and hopes. Whenever I see myself in the mirror each morning, I think, oh my God, I need to lose some weight. It's genuine, it's sincere, I really have the desire to go on a diet. But when the dessert comes around, especially if it's chocolate, to hell with the desire, I have no will, I'm not going to do it. And that's pretty much what the American and the Slovenian polities have done over the last few years. They know they have to do these things. I'm doing way better today. I haven't eaten anything for breakfast.